Shalom. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. This is an end time alert. End time alert number 32. Yashar'al's Great Migration. Part 19. Yashar'al. Who is Yashar'al? Yashar'al and these presentations are in reference to all believers. All believers, those who seek to worship and obey the Most High, both Hebrew and Goyim, or Gentiles, or other nations, as one may know, that are made one in Yahusha. My name is Symmanayah, and these are the messages that I am compelled to present to Yashar'al. Let him or her that can receive these instructions receive them as they are given. Pray on the matter, my brothers and sisters, for this is a time of growing in maturity. Are we in end times? Would you consider this the latter days? Do you believe that chaos and catastrophes will intensify as we draw closer to Yahusha's return? If this be the case, when things intensify, would it not be wise to be able to receive instruction on what we should do? Would it not be wise to prepare our ears and eyes and bodies to understand how to identify the guidance of the Most High with precision? Would it not be wise for us to begin to think about how to walk, respond, and act at the correct times, what to say, when to say it, at the right time? I assure you, my brothers and sisters, the time is coming with much chaos, and we will see many catastrophes start to arise that will stir and distract us and worry us and concern us, and that will cause us to react in many different ways. Let us grow in maturity while we can. Let us sharpen our senses while we can. Let us study and read and pray. Let us seek wise counsel, righteous teachings, strong fellowship. Yes, my brothers and sisters, let us prepare our minds, bodies, and souls according to all that is written. Let us come to understand the real presence of the written and living word, the living instruction, the living Torah of Yahuwah. Through the Spirit of Yahusha, let us come to understand that. In the midst of emergencies, chaos, and catastrophes, instructions, precise instructions and guidance will become a priority. We will hunger for such. So let us sharpen our senses that we're able to identify. Keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, if you agree that we are in end time prophecies or latter day events are starting to unfold, know this, that Yashar'al will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. And in doing so, there will be a process. And that process will be complete with instructions and guidance. Where to go, when to go, as we are guided by the Spirit of Yahusha. Can we identify the barriers or clogs that impede our ability to act when called to do so? In other words, do we know what distracts us? Do we know what's hindering us so we're unable to hear? Or we don't hear clearly because we're a little bit distracted or a little bit uncertain? Have we allowed ourselves to yield to the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha so that we can be freed from strongholds that make us sluggards, that make us slow to response? Let us, my brothers and sisters, grow in maturity, grow with our senses becoming sharper, for in these last days, my brothers and sisters, he or she that is obedient to the Most High will find comfort and understanding and knowing what's expected of them, because each of us have a task, a responsibility that we must be held and will be held accountable for. Let me share 4 passages of scriptures that I think are very vital in understanding how instruction, guidance, precision, correct timing, very important as it relates to knowing how to get beyond the barriers, the things that slow us down in understanding. Because I realize, my brothers and sisters, many of us are wondering, what's the right camp? Who do we fellowship with? Who do we connect with? Many of us sometimes don't realize that it's unhealthy to just be mixed with a huge amount of camps, a diverse amount of camps with various compromising spirits. So many of us have not committed to ask the Father to guide us in the right direction. So we got our foot in a little bit of everybody's camp. We listen to a lot of different teachers, even teachers that we know that disagree with one another, or individuals we know that disagree with others. And people say, well, Yashar'al need to come together in unity. Unity in righteousness, my brothers and sisters. Unity as it relates to rightly dividing the word of Yah. Unity as it relates to those walking in obedience. Anything else would be inviting unrighteous leaven into your domain. This is dangerous. So it's not about warm, fuzzy, friendly attitudes just so we can all get along to be along with one another. It's about iron sharpening iron and preparing during this great migration. For it will be order. It will be structure. And the Most High will prove those whom He has selected to lead us, to guide us. And it will not, even though it may appear to be an individual, it will be behind each action. It would be an individual walking in the guidance, the instruction, and the power and might of the Most High Father. Let me read these scriptures, my brothers and sisters. For I think in Yashar'al's great migration, I am compelled to believe that these are some very important scriptures to keep in mind. Exodus 19:5. And now if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. That was Exodus 19:5. Jeremiah 7:23. But the word I did command them, saying, obey my voice, and I shall be your Elohim, and you be my people. And walk in all the ways that I have commanded you, so that it be well with you. Keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, say, in other words, if we obey His voice, if we walk in His commandments, it will be well with us. So it is important to be able to know what is the instruction from on high. What is the living instruction, the living Torah? Many people have glamorized the Torah and say, oh, the Torah is just the 5 books of Moshe. Or the Torah is just the information that was provided by Moshe. This is not true. Torah means instruction. And the most important instruction we can get is from the Father, who is alive, through His Son, through His Spirit. For we are told that it is the Spirit of Yahusha that will guide us and free us and bring things to our remembrance. Search the scriptures thoroughly, my brothers and sisters, for I know many of you might wonder, why do I say the Spirit of Yahusha? If you seek out the scriptures thoroughly, with a heart to worship and obey the Most High, you will find in the scriptures that they bear witness to my actions, my words, when I talk about the Spirit of Yahusha, guiding us, directing us, freeing us from strongholds. Timing and precision is important. If you doubt that timing is important, consider these 2 verses. Proverbs 25:11 states, a word spoken at the right time is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Let me read that again. Proverbs 25:11. A word spoken at the right time is like apples of gold in settings of silver. In some cases, my brothers and sisters, one must be able to envision an apple, solid gold, nestled in a setting of silver. That would be a beautiful sight. It will glisten with the light flashing against it. We will see the sparkle in it. There's a beauty in it. So in other words, my brothers and sisters, it is precious when we're able to speak a word at the right time. It has some value. So let us learn how to listen. But let us also be prepared to respond at the right time. And in Yashar'al's great migration, timing and precision of communication will be of grave importance. Let me read another passage. Proverbs 25:19. Proverbs 25:19 say, "Trust in a treacherous man in time of distress is like a broken tooth or a foot out of joint." How many of us, since we tend to look, if we can envision this, is a broken tooth attractive? Is a person whose foot out of joint attractive? Does it appear painful? Is it ugly? Is it something that we want to see and gaze upon all the time? So let us think about that when it comes to trusting in a treacherous man in the time of distress. I'm going to read that verse again. Proverbs 25:19 says, it says, "Trust in a treacherous man in a time of distress is like a broken tooth or a foot out of a joint." So let us learn to identify. In order to identify whether a person is treacherous or not, we must begin to allow the Spirit of Yahusha. We must begin to allow discernment to rise up within us so that we can identify the person that's not treacherous, that speaks in a timely fashion. So Yashar'al, would you describe end times or latter-day prophecy as a time of possible chaos and catastrophes? So, if so, in emergency times, do you think it is important to get information regarding safety quickly and in a timely fashion? When these emergency times pop up, is it going to be important that we get information accurately? I think so. Is it important to get accurate information and directions for navigating away from harm? I think so, my brothers and sisters. So let us understand. Do you think in these last days the Most High will reach out to us and guide us in order for us to participate in the fulfillment of His scriptures? In other words, will we see actual, real guidance demonstrated before us, discipline, a structure formulating with order, righteous order from the Most High? Consider the scriptures that refer to Yashar'al's great migration, my brothers and sisters, and realize it is indeed a process. Let us realize the importance of timing, the importance of growing to know the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha while we can. As the days pass, distractions will increase. Distractions will increase like ants when a big foot is coming down over their heads. Let me say that again. As the days pass, distractions will increase like ants when a big foot is coming down over their heads. Let us sharpen our senses, my brothers and sisters, that we're able to receive guidance, instruction at the right time. Let us not be overreactive. Let us not just jump and be reacting, but let us follow guidance, instruction. Let us prepare our minds. Let us develop and establish a ready heart to worship and obey the Most High. The season to embrace the importance of time is at hand. Let me say that again, my brothers and sisters. The season to embrace the importance of time is at hand. Let us grow in identifying the instructions from the Spirit of Yahusha, for Yashar'al will be gathered together. And be not dismayed by all these different camps, for those that are and have been established to represent Yashar'al's great migration will come together as one, according to the scriptures. Prepare your minds and body, my brothers and sisters, for the Spirit of Yahusha calls out. Stay tuned for more. Shalom. Shalom. Get ready, my brothers and sisters. Awaken, Yashar'al. Awaken.